and welcome to our Retired Nomad Adventures.
I'm Retired Rick.
And I'm Daphne, and we are a retired couple who are traveling the world 1 month at a time with just a carry-on and a backpack and a $5,000 a month budget. And we have been in Da Nang, Vietnam for almost a month now, and we've done all kinds of things here. And today's video, we'd like to take you out and about with us in Da Nang to share with you what we would say is an ideal itinerary. One of the things we always look at when we're picking a destination is what is there to do there. And so we're hoping that today's video will show you sort of what there is to do here in Da Nang. Now, we've jam-packed your day full of all kinds of things. It's definitely a doable itinerary, but we want to preface this by saying we are slow travelers.
So we're not going to be doing all this in one day, but you can if you want to try it.
Yeah, it's definitely realistic, but we would probably spread this out. We're kind of a one-a-day couple. Yeah, so we sort of pick one thing to do today and then plan our day around that. So we would probably...
Well, what we do is we think of one thing to do a day, plan our day around that, rest the next day, and start thinking about something to do for the following day, and then we do it the following day after that.
That's probably more honest. So we would say that what we have planned for you today is easily done over the course of 2 or 3 days. But also, if you're here and you're just vacationing and you're short on time, this is a great way to get about and see the city. We love to start our days every morning by going for a walk on the beach. And here in Da Nang, the beach is beautiful, the sand is wide, and it's a great place to go for your walk. So start your day with your morning walk. Then we get to have Rick's favorite part of the day. That means we get to go for coffee and breakfast.
And what's nice about coffee and breakfast, you can't go wrong with any breakfast here. So we found a spot that is just fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the treats here, so Bread and Butter is the name of the place, and it's just like a street up from the beach, so it's sort of centrally located. No matter where you're at in the city, you should be able to get to it easy. But it's called Bread and Butter, and it's sort of famous because their pastries are kind of out of this world. So when you go in, you're a little overwhelmed by looking at like all of the treats, and I don't know how anybody decides without being able to go multiple times.
Well, I know you don't have to go multiple times. The first time we were there, I couldn't decide whether to have a vanilla filling, I think it was, or a custard filling or a chocolate filling. So I solved that problem by getting both.
Yeah, he did. He came out, he was only supposed to be getting us coffees, and he came out with two
That's what you do.
Fabulous looking donuts. And then here, remember, Vietnam is very famous for their coffee. So you can get, I typically get an iced Americano. Rick loves the coconut coffee, but you could also get the salt or egg coffee here. And this is a great place to sort of try those bucket list coffees you might want. So we would recommend starting your day with a walk, and then so you can ease your guilt over indulging at Bread and Butter for breakfast. So now that you're all fueled from your morning breakfast, I would say let's start the day by going to Marble Mountain. So Marble Mountain is located right within the city of Da Nang, and you can easily order your grab from Bread and Butter and take it from there to Marble Mountain.
And from Bread and Butter, it's only about a 15-minute drive, and it's less than $4.
Yeah, and the actual cost to go into Marble Mountain is also very inexpensive. So it's about $1.50 a person to go up the mountain, and then it's about $1 per person to go into one of the additional caves. So there's one cave that you have to pay for, and the rest are included in that $1.50. Now, Marble Mountain, we highly recommend it, and we think that it is a place you must see when you're in Da Nang. But we do want to start this off by saying if you have any mobility issues, it will be a challenge.
It will be a challenge. And they advertise that they do have an elevator that'll take you up to the mountain, but what it does is it takes you to a section of the mountain. And then from there, you still have stairs that you have to hike through. So you're only seeing a little part of it if you're planning on taking the elevator. So if you want to do that, that's great, but just know that you're still going to be having issues walking up and down the stairs or uneven surfaces and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind.
I think we were really surprised at how little distance that elevator covered. It only took you to about halfway up the mountain, and then you'd be kind of landlocked. You wouldn't be able to go very far. So
and the stairs for us, the stairs weren't that big of an issue. There were stairs.
I huffed and puffed.
Yeah, you will, but you just you can take a rest, and once you're up there, it's just fantastic because you can take your rest, sit in the shade, and then go explore, and then take a rest, sit in the shade, go explore. So it's really good.
Yeah, and there are beautiful lookout points there. There's beautiful pagodas to go look at. Lots of beautiful lush green landscaping and temples and all kinds of really interesting nooks and crannies to kind of be able to go into and explore. And even within Marble Mountain, if you don't have mobility issues, you might still decide you're not going to do all of it. So for me, our son was with us, and so Blake and Rick, we would all go into the caves together, but I typically would make a decision at some point to not go as far into the cave as you guys did. So you guys hiked and climbed up to places I didn't go to.
And there's some place, usually you go into the cave and you come out the same way you came in, but there's a couple of them that you go in and you come out a totally different way. So
yeah, so we had some fun
that.
trying to find each other after a couple of the caves I didn't go all the way into. And then there's like it feels like big cities down in the cave. So they have all kinds of altars set up. It's just really beautiful and something you should experience. And we would say that you want to give yourself about 3 or 4 hours to experience all that Marble Mountain has to offer. Now, once you're done at Marble Mountain, you can order a Grab again, and then the Grab is going to take you, you're going to head in the direction to where we're going to recommend you go after you have lunch, but we would say lunch is a great thing to have now. And so we would recommend for lunch, do you want to try to say it? So
Beccom, B-E-P, separate words, C-U-O-N.
Yeah, so we would recommend going there for lunch. We tried to go there for dinner one night because it came so highly recommended, but it was so busy that we would really recommend you go there for lunch because the crowds are nowhere near as big as they are at dinner time. It's located centrally in My Cay Beach area, just a couple streets up from the beach. And when we went there,
it's actually just up to Bread and Butter.
Yeah,
Bread and Butter.
Just up from there. Yeah. And when we went there, our eyes were, well, I want to say our eyes were bigger than our stomachs, but we actually did finish it all. So we definitely over-ordered when we were there. So we got fish spring rolls, we got dumplings, seafood pasta, seafood soup, like all the things. So know that we tried a lot of the menu, and we would highly recommend you going there. So from here, and now that you've had lunch, we're going to recommend you spend the afternoon going and enjoying the beautiful Lady Buddha. And she stands above the ocean. It's about a 15-minute grab ride again from the center of the city up to Lady Buddha. And that grab ride, again, should cost you about $4, but our recommendation would be that you go ahead and order that grab and then negotiate with your driver to wait for you when you're at Lady Buddha and then take you to one more location before bringing you back to your hotel or your Airbnb.
And a lot of times the drivers have no problem with waiting. There's all sorts of drivers waiting. They're waiting in the shade. They're on their phone. They're doing, just normal stuff that they would be doing waiting for a ride anyway. So it's nice that they know they have a guaranteed, 2 trips for them. So.
We were really surprised by that. So don't worry about it. Just ask them. They'll be excited to be able to get that additional fare. And they charge you a small amount for a waiting time. We had somebody take us, wait for us, and take us to another location, come back, and the total cost for that was $11 round trip. Right. So don't feel like it's going to be an arm and a leg, but know that that's about what you should be spending. So up at Lady Buddha, again, the lookouts are marvelous. You've got pagodas there also. You've got temples there also. It's just a really pretty place, and it felt very peaceful up there.
It's peaceful, and then they have the monkeys too.
That messes with my peace a little. But so if the monkeys bother you, I'm not a lover of the monkeys. I wouldn't stop me from going up there, but I'm not a lover of them. But I would say they weren't really interested in us.
No.
Unless you were trying to engage with them. So there were definitely people trying to feed them, and they were interested in them. But there were lots of them up there. So if you do like monkeys, it's an added bonus for your time up there. Once you're done exploring Lady Buddha area, and we would say give yourself about an hour. We were there for about an hour. Some people might want to spend a little more. I can't imagine that you would spend more than 2 hours up there. But after you're done there, on the way down the mountain, you'll want your driver to stop at a little place called San Tron Marina. And I made us stop there. And if Rick probably had his choice, he would have said no. But we stopped at a little mini Santorini. So
it's mini Santorini because it's blue and white, I think.
It really does look like Santorini. It's definitely built for tourists. And there's like 3 buildings, but it totally looks like Santorini. And we stopped there and we got some mango smoothies. You could get coffee. It was a really sweet place for just a quick stop. And then we continued and made our way down the mountain
It's a photo opportunity.
It was. And we did get some good pictures. So I would say you're there anyway, just stop and get yourself a nice drink and then come on back down to your Airbnb and either have a little disco nap, take a shower, and get yourself ready for the evening activities. Now, I would definitely take a nap. You would probably run out for a massage before we moved on.
Yep.
Yeah, so anywhere in Da Nang, we have been so pleasantly surprised at the amount of massages that are available, the consistency and the quality of them, and they're $10. $10
to $12. It's crazy, and
most of them are
where else are you gonna get a massage for that amount?
Yeah, and then most of them include hot stones also, which is typically even more expensive, but here it's just part of the
massage.
Yeah, so Either do what I would do, take a shower and do a disco nap, or take a shower and run and get a massage before heading out for the nighttime activities.
Either way, you can't go wrong.
That's right. So now we're ready for the evening. And what we would say for the evening is to make your way on over to the Han River area. And we would go to the night market at the Han River. And we had gone to the night market in Hoi An, and it was a little bit of a hustly bustly kind of haggling situation there, and we were really surprised here at how little of that was going on.
You'd pass a couple of stalls and you would look at something, but nobody comes up to you and asks, do you want to buy it? They don't, negotiate the price too much. It's like, if you like it, get it. If you don't, they're fine with it.
Now, we have heard as the night moves on and it gets a little later in the evening, the pressure might become a little more intense. But when we were there, gosh, it was super surprising.
And you can still negotiate. I negotiated a couple things, so you can still negotiate.
Yep. And then the thing that did surprise us also was how large the food area was there. So they had a huge section of all kinds of different foods you could choose from. And then the thing that kept drawing your eye was the big lobsters.
The lobsters were huge.
Yeah.
And they had fish. You can get anything you wanted there. It was nice.
Yes. So we would say walk around the night market, enjoy that time, and then right across the street from the night market is the Dragon Bridge. So we would say walk on over to the Dragon Bridge, spend some time walking up on the bridge, checking it out, and then once you're done kind of exploring and looking at the Dragon Bridge, come on down and walk along the river. And then we would recommend you do this on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night so that you can enjoy the Dragon Bridge show. Every night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 9 p.m., the dragon spurts out water and fire, and it's like a 15-minute show. It's also a tourist attraction.
It's a tourist attraction. But enjoy it. Get your pictures.
It's cute, yeah. So what we would say is kind of combine it with something else. So we would say make reservations at
Riverside Terrace.
Riverside Terrace restaurant.
Right.
It's a little Italian restaurant, and we want to say thank you to James and Gabriella for teaching us about this little hidden gem. So we would say make a reservation there for 8:15, and make sure you ask for your table to be on the 4th floor.
Yeah, it's up on the terrace, and about 8:15 you get there. You can order drinks, you can order your food, and then the show will start at 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You just stand up, take your pictures, get your videos, and you're not bombarded with street traffic or anything like that, and you have a perfect viewing platform.
Yeah, that was our favorite way to see the Dragon Bridge show. So it was, because it was just like a little piece of the night. It added a little extra entertainment, and the food was delicious. So that would be our number one recommendation. But alternatively, you could eat at the night market, get yourself some delicious seafood or Vietnamese food, enjoy it there, and then go take a river cruise on the Han River. And so we did do the river cruise one night. That was really nice, pretty inexpensive. I want to get this right. So it was $18 for 3 people. Again, our son was with us. So 3 people, $18 for an hour and a half river cruise, and you got to sort of sit right under the bridge as the show was happening. So that was fun and interesting too.
Yes.
Okay, so that would end the night for us. Like, we definitely would not be going anywhere after this, but you might like to do something else after this. And so we would say after the dragon show, finish your meal, then make your way back on over to the beach. And depending on where your Airbnb is on the beach, you can't go wrong. There's all kinds of places to sit out actually on the sand and enjoy some nighttime drinks. And so maybe that's what you want to do. And don't worry about where you pick. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So if you were our friends or our family members and asked us what to do in Da Nang, that would be the actual day that we would tell our friends and family to do. Of course, there are day trips you could take from Da Nang easily. So there's lots to do there. And then another really great thing to do is to just relax and enjoy this beautiful beach. You can either rent lounge chairs super inexpensively for 2 people. You can have it for $5 for the entire day. You could go parasailing from the beach if you wanted to. You could ride jet skis. You could ride the back of those big like inflatable things. All kinds of things. You can be as active or as inactive as you like at the beach. And so you can't skip out on the beach time here also.
Now, if you stayed with us this long in the video, we have some restaurant recommendations that we want to share with you, and we just couldn't leave these out, but then we couldn't include them in a one-day segment. So here's some restaurant recommendations that we have. Yeah, so the first, we'll start with a few Vietnamese restaurants. And so these are restaurants that we've gone to multiple times. And the first one is called Tia Go. So Tia Go is a cute little, it's down a back alley, kind of a little hidden neighborhood. And so we found this place. It was beautifully lit up and really pretty. Yeah, it was really nice. I had a good was it a fish boil or something?
Seafood boil.
Seafood boil. It was really good. So
yeah, so we would highly recommend Tia Go. And then another place is Ann Toy. So ANTHOI is the name of the restaurant, and it's a Michelin reviewed restaurant, and it's over by the Han River. You've got to go there. We all had different dishes there and absolutely loved it. Our son found this one for us, and he did not steer us wrong in several instances. And I would say this restaurant, so you've heard me talk about the Vietnamese pancakes, and this restaurant had my favorite Vietnamese pancake I've had anywhere in Vietnam. So we would highly recommend it, not just for that, but that's a good one for you. Another place that serves Vietnamese food is a little place down also by the beach area, just a couple streets up, a little place called Emos, E-M-O-S. And we found that because the restaurant we recommended for you to go to at lunch was so busy at dinner one night, we followed another couple who were making their way to a different restaurant because it was so busy. And
we've been back a couple of times. They have good fish dishes. It's just really nice, pleasant atmosphere.
Yeah, we really liked it. Plus they have the cutest little dog that greets you every time you come. But so that's a place we would definitely recommend for Vietnamese food. Now, if you want something a little different than Vietnamese food, you had Italian dinner at a place we recommended for dinner, but we would also recommend a place called 4 Ps. So the number 4 and the letter P. So 4 Ps, and it is an Italian restaurant that they have a few locations within the city, and we've been there.
Their pizza,
4 times?
three or 4 times. Their pizza is really good. I had a good seafood pasta, and it was so good that we even ordered that same thing through Grab, and they delivered it to our Airbnb.
Yeah. So and your seafood was spicy, which you really like, and then I got a nice Caesar salad there, which is not easy to find when you're in Vietnam, and so that was delicious. So that's one that we would highly recommend. And then our last, and definitely not our least favorite place, it might be our most favorite place, is if you like tacos, we have got the perfect little hole-in-the-wall taco spot for you.
The place is called Taco, separate word, N-G-O-N. It is fantastic. They have a limited menu.
There's only four
types of tacos.
Yep.
You choose your protein, and they say they've never tasted
actual Mexican
tacos, but this is their version of it, and they hit it out.
Well, we don't want them to ever taste actual Mexican food because what they're doing right now is really working. Good. So, like my favorite is a lime
ginger,
a lime ginger taco. So, how unusual is that flavor?
And mine is and it's fish. You had fish with that.
Yeah.
And I had my protein was fish, and I had a wasabi taco.
Yeah. And
I mean, I tried them all. And I've had them all several times, but the wasabi is my go-to. And
there was a yogurt one, which was our son's favorite, and then there was a barbecue one. Yeah, so we definitely had them all, and we've been there more times than we care to tell you.
You have to try it. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right, so we hope that this video is helpful if you're thinking about like what is there to do in Da Nang, and are there great places to eat. We hope we've given you some good recommendations, and we hope that you'll join us next week as we go through our criteria, where we have our checklist where we sort of see, is this someplace that we could live long term? And until then, bye.